Friends, and in continuation with the last class, I would like to continue in this video the students' T distribution problems. This is the students' T distribution table. In this table, we can observe this column refers to all the degrees of freedom. DF it is shown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. It is given the degrees of freedom. And here it is for the one-tailed test. The first row is referring to the one-tailed test and the second one is the two-tailed test. So this is what they have given for the values. So how it has to be referred means, for example, if it is for 12 degrees of freedom and n is 13 means n minus 1, that is 12 degrees of freedom. So respective values you can refer here. Usually the question itself, the tabular value will be given. If it is not given, I'll explain while solving the problem how to refer to the table. Here is a problem. 10 individuals are chosen at random from a population and their heights in inches are found to be 63, 63, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 70, 71 and 71. So test the hypothesis that the mean height of the universe is 66 inches. So we need to test the hypothesis, that is assuming the mean height of these universes to be 66, and this is the sample which we have chosen of 10 people of size, and this will be also equals to 66, whether it is true or not, that we need to check it. So let us assume in the hypothesis that mu is equals to 66 and n is given by 10, and let us calculate the sample mean, how much you are getting it. X bar is equals to sigma x divided by n, and here we are adding all the heights of 10 people, that will come to 678 divided by 10, that's the average 67.8 we are getting it. And the variance is given by s square, that is 1 by n minus 1 sigma x minus x bar the whole square. X bar is calculated and x is the values of, that is the heights of 10 people. So individually we are calculating, that is 63 minus 67.8 plus etc. 71 minus 67.8 the whole square. So that is divided by 1 by 9 because n is 10, so n minus 1 is 9 here. And on calculation we are getting s square is equals to 9.067 and whose root is 3.011. The formula for the T distribution is given by x bar minus mu divided by s into root of n, where x bar what we have calculated is 67.8, so that minus 66 is the mean, which is the population mean, divided by 3.011 into 10 root of 10. So that gives us t value as 1.89, which is lesser than 2.262. That is the value. Hypothesis, thus the hypothesis is accepted at 5% level of significance for the degrees of freedom 9. How it has been given, that is 2.262. Nowhere it has been mentioned in this problem. 2.262 it has not been mentioned. You can observe here only the data has been given, that is 10, and so the degrees of freedom will be 9 and it is at 5% level of significance. It is taken as 2.262. Let me show you how it has been taken. 2.262 at 5 degrees of freedom for 5% and 9 degrees of freedom. 9 degrees of freedom and it is 2.262 at 5% level of significance. It is a two-tailed test. You can observe here 5% and it is 2.262. Here it is 2.262. You can round it off. This is the one, 2.262. So at 5% and then 9 degrees of freedom. This is the value we have taken, and the calculated value is 1.89, which is lesser than this one. Therefore, it is accepted. Next question. A certain stimulus administered to each of the 12 patients resulted in the following change in blood pressure. So this is 5, 2, 8, minus 1, 3, 0, 6, 2, minus 2, 1, 5, 0, 4. Can it be concluded that the stimulus will increase the blood pressure? And here we need not refer to the table. The tabular value has been given at 5% level of significance for 11 degrees of freedom. It is 2.201. Here we can observe this is 12 patients. Therefore, the 11 is the degrees of freedom and it is given for 5% level of significance. It is 2.201. So x bar is given by the mean, that is x summation of x divided by n. When we add all the 12 patients records, that is 31 divided by 12, gives us 2.5833. And s square is given by 1 upon n minus 1 into sigma of x minus x bar the whole square, or this can also be used as the formula. Any formula can be used, but we will be getting the answer as 9.538. And on taking the root of which, we will be getting 3.088. Now let us calculate the t value. That is x bar minus mu divided by sigma into root n. Let us suppose that the stimulus administered is not accompanied with increase in the blood pressure. We can take the mu as 0. So t value is given by this x bar, which is calculated 2.5833 minus 0 divided by s, that is 3.088 into root of 12, which on calculation gives us 2.8979 or approximately 2.9. Anyway, it is greater than this one. Hence, the hypothesis is rejected at 5% level of significance. We conclude that with the 95% confidence that the stimulus is in general is accompanied with increase in the blood pressure. Next, the topic is the fiducial limits or confidence limits. So 95% confidence limits for mu is given by the formula x bar plus or minus s divided by root n into t 0.05, and for 99% confidence limits for mu are given by x bar plus or minus x by root n into t 0.01. These are the fiducial limits or confidence limits. Sometimes they will be asking us to calculate the confidence limits. So that time you can use the formula. Here we can see the example. A sample of 11 rats from a central population had an average blood viscosity of 3.92 with a standard deviation of 0.61. On the basis of this sample, establish 95% fiducial limits for mu, the mean blood viscosity of the central population. T 0.05 is 228 for 10 degrees of freedom. Here because 11 rats are there, it is 10 degrees of freedom. So by the solution is, by data x bar is 3.92 and s is equals to 0.61, that's a deviation, n is equals to 11. So 95% fiducial limits or the confident limits for the mu are given by x bar plus minus s divided by root n into t 0.05. That has been already given as 2.28, which can be substituted, and x bar is 3.92, s is 0.61 and n is 11. Which on substitution we get a 3.92 plus or minus 0.41. That gives us 3.51 and 4.33. Thus, 95% confidence limits for mu are given by this 3.51 and 4.33. Thank you.